February 2nd, 2026. The other day I was thinking about how people become desensitized to things they're exposed to a lot. And I had a kind of an epiphany about it. Continuous exposure desensitizes people to the benefit of that thing and increases the sensitivity for the peripheral elements of that thing. And what I mean by that is, I think as we become desensitized to a thing, what we're actually becoming is more accustomed to it. And because we are becoming more accustomed to it, we begin to see the smaller details, or not just see, but experience the smaller details, the more nuanced elements of that thing, whatever that is. I'll try to give an example here. I think this kind of thing happens like in my life, for example. I started drinking bottled water a lot, I think in my early 20s. And initially, kind of in my mind, all water just tasted all the same, kind of. I mean, I could tell some faucet water tasted weird or different, whatever. But as I got accustomed to drinking the bottled water, and when I first started, actually, I pretty quickly realized that I absolutely, well, not super quickly, but I started to realize that there are definite tastes in different brands. And I remember Arrowhead just started tasting like, I don't know, like rocks were in the water, or it was just tasted awful. So I could never have Arrowhead. I remember liking Aquafina a lot. Dasani was okay. And because of my higher exposure to these bottled waters, it started enabling me to kind of just get more, become more aware of the nuanced flavors of the different waters. And I don't know, I think over a few years, I just started to really have a very selective palate for the brand of waters that I would drink. I think the same kind of thing happens in our visual acuity. I think about how I am, well, I guess because we're highly exposed to the people that are around us, it makes it difficult for us to see. Maybe not makes it difficult. We are just less attuned to the differences in people or things that are very different. The very different things are more, they're more prominent features, in whatever sense that is, are the things that stand out first. And all the subtle features kind of take a back seat. As time goes on and we become more exposed to those things, the subtle features become more prominent. Not because we are desensitized to the previously prominent things, but I think more because we become more sensitive to the less prominent things. I think desensitization is less of an accurate way to describe it in general. I think that's probably the case for many things, but it just seems like the way things are. I think also one of my reasons for thinking that is the case is by the nature of how dopamine works. Like it takes more and more stimulus as the body adapts. But I think the body is adapting in the dopamine sense to need more. It's just it becomes used to whatever the previous dose is, and it becomes more sensitive to higher dosage because it's used to that, rather than saying it is now desensitized and a higher dosage is required, if that makes sense. I probably haven't explained it very well. It's kind of a complicated thought, and definitely I've only explored it a little bit for a couple days, but I thought I'd kind of lay it out. Talking things out in general just kind of helps your mind interpret and synthesize ideas a little bit in that sense. So there's my ideas. I don't know, what kind of call to action might that lead one to? I think before assuming you have been desensitized to something that you have been greatly exposed to, maybe flip that paradigm in your mind to thinking about how you might be now more sensitive to the nuance, subtle things that surround that thing, whatever that is. My day was pretty good today. I actually slept all right. I think I got a solid 7-ish. I think that's what it said on my phone. Got up and got cracking on my app stuff, making good progress. Currently uploading a build for the next build of my beta test. Did my walk a little earlier today, but it was again another nice day. It was a little cooler than yesterday, about 50 degrees, but I was able to walk. I didn't need my hoodie. Cranked out my 5 miles today. I did it in under an hour 10, I think, or right around that. So I was really booking on my pace. That's probably the fastest I've done it, or right around that speed anyway. And then I went to arm wrestling practice at the usual time at 6. I got to show the first beta that's on my phone, since I don't have any other beta testers yet. Got to show the app to some of the arm wrestlers. They're very excited to try it out. So the few that are using Apple phones anyway, I still, apparently maybe I mentioned this yesterday, but apparently the Android or Google Play Store, or Android, whatever, the Android development program, they didn't like my verification of address using the temporary license that I've been given from the state of Utah until I get the real license. Maybe I'm kind of locked out of that, because that was one of the only ways to verify my address. I don't have mail that is, they said utility bill and something else. I don't have that kind of mail, so here we are. Anyway, I finished my app. I got really to where I wanted on the app, and it's prior to midnight, which is unusual, but I do have court tomorrow at 9 a.m., so I wanted to get to sleep at a semi-regular time, like a real human time, which is good. Beyond all that, that, I guess, it wraps up the day. Thanks for tuning in. Hopefully some of my half-baked ramblings make sense. And until next time, take it easy.